Hey everybody, it's Stever82, and I go by Crypto Steve as well. And I'm here today to do another video about Splinterlands and the Share Your Battle. Sorry, I know in some of my newer videos I have my face there and I'm working on better lighting for the room that I do my videos in. I haven't made that much content recently. It's really just because my daughter's uh, in virtual homeschool again, so it makes it a little bit hard to make content during the day like I usually would try to do during my lunch breaks from work and things like that. So I'm going to get back to it soon because we did get her back into a daycare setting. Luckily, it's one that's really safe. They'll help her do all her schooling. They have some qualified teachers there. I'm very, very lucky that we got her into that, and it should allow me to start making more content. So if there's some stuff you want me to look into, I'm going to be doing some more updates. I know that the Tron staking stuff got messed up with the Tron fees that they changed, and that was a real bummer because the reason I got so into that was because Tron was so cheap and you could invest small amounts of money, and that's just not true anymore. And so there's a there's just there's a lot going on in the crypto world right now. You got Bitcoin just blowing away all-time highs, doing all kinds of crazy fun stuff. Hopefully it's helping everybody out and we're all doing really well, but it's time to get into what we're going to be doing today. So, today I'm going to be doing the Share Your Battle Challenge. The theme this week is the Sea Monster. For anybody that's kind of new to me and doesn't know a whole lot, Splinterlands is a game in the crypto world where you get to own all of your cards, you get to play, you get to earn cryptocurrency called dark energy crystals, and then if you take advantage of the fact that they are a game that is connected to Hive and go on to Hive, and Hive has a lot of different front ends. Peak D is just my favorite one to use, but you could just go to hive.io. There's Peak D, there's Palnet. There's a whole bunch of different ones, and you'll learn a little bit more about those if you get into Hive. And if you guys want a video kind of on Hive and the different Hive front ends that you can use if you're a player for you to post your battles, there's also a Splinter Talk area where you could post stuff like this. But basically, if you do a post about the game, you can do one a week where it can be about anything you want, and you have to share it on other social medias and pass it around, and the team will usually give you some kind of vote for doing that. And then if you do a Share Your Battle challenge, they will also give you a vote. And the other players like myself, if you do these videos, if you take part in it, I give you a vote usually, and I also am a tip you curator on Hive, so I'm able to give out votes to people who do these. And I'm not the only one in the community that does that. So you have a good chance if you do one of these videos or just a post sharing your battle, and you can go look at other people's posts and look at my videos for some examples of kind of how you could do this, then you're going to have a chance to earn a little bit of extra money on Hive from in addition to what you earn playing the game. This is what gives Splinterlands one of the higher ROIs out there, and it's also why you see me do these videos, even though on my YouTube channel they're not my most popular videos. I get 30-40 views as opposed to Townstars and Tron ones that get a few hundreds. But as I push up to more subscribers, the reason why I do not stop doing Splinterlands content is because it's just so rewarding. Playing the game earns me tokens. The cards have been appreciating in value. I'm able to do these posts and earn extra money on the Hive blockchain. My videos are usually pretty popular on some of the other crypto blockchains where I put them in other places because I post on all the different ones that I've reviewed here, like Torum and Somi and Uptrend and PublishX. And so it just helps me create another, I wouldn't say it's passive income because I am trading. It's an obvious trade of time making the content to, actual video, actual rewards from the video. And it's not a great return, but if you have the time to make the content, it's a way to help you get a little bit more money that you can either invest into Splinterlands, or if you have your set stuff, then you can just invest it into any of the other projects that you like, because you'll earn Hive, and Hive can be traded on a lot of different exchanges, and then you can go ahead and get that money put out into somewhere else. So we're going to look at the Sea Monster today, though. Getting back into here, I know that was a little off topic, but I wanted to just talk a little bit about the game and the platforms and the reason why I make these videos before we got too further into it. So the Sea Monster is one of their common cards. It's also a common rewards card, so it's a relatively cheap card. So if you wanted to get one of these cards at max level, I mean, the cheapest one is for sale for under $20, and that would be a max level card. That's pretty cheap. But I mean, look, a level 7 card where you could play, or a level 8 that can play in like a gold level league, they're only like $5, because the leveling um, up of these cards, they level up, really simply in the beginning, so you can make it through the first couple leagues of bronze and silver without that many cards needed. And then when you start to get into gold, it starts to ramp up a little bit, but not that much. And then when you get into diamond and champion and you want those cards maxed out, that's where all of a sudden, see, it jumps all the way up here to 505 cards needed, as opposed to only, see, a level 5 is only 25. And I mean, you can see this here actually is a better example. See, it's 1, 3, 5, 12, 25, 52, and then there's the big jumps. So looking at the card, this is a slow tank. He's good in reverse speed games. He is also self-healing and thorns, high HP, high cost. He is on the water team, and until recently, that's the one thing that maybe hurt the card from being spectacular, because the water team is kind of the magic team, and he's not a magic card. And the water team also has like a couple really cool cards that add speed. So then when they're maybe not your first pick to play reverse speed, and maybe they are. They have some really good slow cards too. It kind of depends on what card you have, but this card can be very, very dominating early on in the game because he is a level 1 self-heal tank with 8 life. So if you're somebody who's only playing bronze and silver, it is definitely worth it to get this card at whatever level you are if you play water at all, because he will do really well in any like 25 to like 30 plus mana game as a big tank that you can throw on the board that'll self heal. And if you throw healers behind him, he can become kind of difficult to kill. He is slow in a regular game though. Now that's good if he can survive all of the attacks. It's bad if he gets killed before the attacks, before he gets his turn. That's the one thing you'll see happen sometimes if you're playing Crustacean King and the Sea Monster and you have those double heals and he gets killed before you get him healed twice. You're like, man, that was a big bummer, because you were really, really hoping to get that and you didn't. So I can understand why you would end up being pretty disappointed in what happened there. So one of the things that I always like to do with the card is sometimes try to find a way to play a faster healer than the Crustacean King so that you can heal him earlier in the turn, because there's going to be somebody with some fast monsters that hit him hard. So talking about the key levels that you want to get the Sea Monster to, obviously in the beginning, post Thorns, you want to put him up to the 5 attack. So the level 4 would be your first goal if you can play him at level 4. After that, level 6 to get Thorns is the next goal. And then after that, you're going to want to, if you can play him at level 7, you're going to want to go ahead and move him up to 3 speed. Unless you're keeping him as somebody only to play in slow battles, then you could just leave him right here at level 6. And he can be your reverse speed battle tank that you go to. Now, if you're going to push him into the end game, you really don't need to worry about these late levels and level 10 for him to still be an effective card. At any of these levels, you can play him in gold, you can play him in early diamond matches, and you could even still play him in champion. But once you're in those upper leagues, if you don't have it maxed out, that might be the reason you lose, because that 1 HP could make a difference. But it's not until you get into those really upper echelon leagues. So you can just pick one up, right around here at level 8 for a few dollars, and you'd be really solid and have a really good card for you to use throughout the game. Now let's go ahead and go to my battle. I actually took a while to get a win with him today just because I couldn't find a matchup that really worked out well, and I had a life quest, so water team wasn't there sometime. I got a whole bunch of like 13 and 14 mana matches where he's kind of hard to use nowadays. You used to just be able to throw out one big strong tank and sometimes win, but now you got some teams with multiple monsters that only cost 2, and when they field an entire team against your one guy, it doesn't work anymore. But this is the battle that I have to show you today. It was a pretty fun battle to watch. It wasn't a for sure dominant win. And that's always kind of what I like to hope to show you guys when I share a battle. And I like to show battles that are the same team. And if you looked at this lineup right away, you're probably wondering, like, did I really win? I mean, he has a really good setup. He has double healing, and I don't have a way to stop that healing. The one thing that is my advantage, I can tell you when I just look at this board right away, is he does have a slow, but I have a speed boost, so I'm going to keep my guys at a reasonable speed. He does have his chicken in a place where I'm not going to attack it until I've won the game if I'm going to win. And my chicken's here, which is going to take one of the hits away from my my person. And because my team is not super fast, I was hoping my chicken would be killed before his turn came, and that is going to happen because he has a 4-speed monster here. And my people are just going to stay the same speed, so this is going to hit the chicken. Then my guy's going to move up to do battle with the rest of the players, but that saves him 2 life, which is what I was really hoping. And it helps protect him from me having that problem of him possibly dying before I get to go, and especially because I did not play a back row healer. I went ahead and played back row damage dealers. So we'll go ahead and start to watch the battle. I'll put it at medium speed so we can kind of talk about it a little bit. You're going to see what I was talking about here after the buffs all go off. I get slowed back down, so we're just at regular speed. And now the battle starts. So the chicken takes that hit after my back row monster gets hit. Here's the really key thing that won me the game. That stun helped prevent me from him getting a secondary heal in that turn. And you'll see here that it works out just perfectly that I have the 5 damage and he has the 5 life. And now I've still got my front row tank and he does not. It also worked out pretty well that I did have an armor there so that I survived that sniper attack. And then it's just all of a sudden you're going to see while his team looked to maybe having a big advantage on mine, I start to take off and he's not going to get any more of my guys. So it turned out to be a real dominant win to me when you first saw that board, you might not have seen a dominant win there. Now, I did make maybe one mistake in my lineup, and I will bring it back up so that we can just talk about it really quick. And this is hard to tell if this was a mistake or not. Maybe you could throw a comment in there and tell me if you think this was a mistake. Should these two have been swapped? Now, what that would have done is it would have given my monster with the stun ability 1 or 2 more attacks even at this guy, and it would have put the flying monster with higher speed and an armor in the sniper position. So this card would have been shooting at the pixie first and maybe missing, and at minimum taking 1 hit, two attacks to kill, because it would have hit the armor, and it would have only had 2 life because of this weaken. And so it's kind of something I wonder, because if I wouldn't have been able to kill the Swamp Thing quick enough to get that extra HP, it might have died a little bit sooner. But it's one of those things that's kind of hard to tell. I kind of put the Medusa here because it has enough HP to not die super quick from a sniper. I did get a little lucky in the fact that he went with this monster, say, instead of the Child of the Forest, because if he would have went double sniper and took my mages out quicker, I probably would have lost this game because I wouldn't have had enough damage to kill the Flesh Golem. So this is a classic example of a mistake I see people make in the game, and one that I try to avoid, and when I do make it, I laugh at myself, so I'll share it with you really quickly. When you spread out your damage with even one attacker by itself, if that attacker is not fast enough or strong enough to dominate whatever lineup you're setting up, then you're risking yourself losing a match just because you didn't focus your fire on one spot. And there is a chance when you don't focus when you focus all your fire at one spot, it's not the right spot and you lose, because even with everyone attacking that one monster, you cannot kill it. And if that happens, that's a bummer. But he basically lost this match, in my opinion, because this card was a sniper or because this card wasn't. If this card would have been any other card attacking the front row, he might have been able to kill my sea monster. And if it would have been any other sniper, which might have been the better play for him against my team, then he would have got through my Medusa quicker. He probably would have killed off my Ice Pixie. And with that damage taken away, you saw I had a perfect 5 damage hit on the Flesh Golem to finish him off. So it wouldn't have worked out so well for me if they would have been able to either focus 2 snipers minimum when you set up your team, or I would say no snipers. Same thing with sneak monsters. I would not play 2 sneak monsters. I would not play anything short of 2 sneak monsters, and you might even want 3. He could have, maybe even went 3 snipers. I don't know if there's 3 snipers he could have gotten this mana cap. I know the Child of the Forest is only 3, but that would have only, to stay at the same mana, that would only given him another 3 here. I can't think of another, I can't think of another 3-cost sniper right now for them. So that would have been an interesting setup. I probably still would have left the Swamp Thing on the board. Just maybe instead of the chicken, he could have had a, assuming he used Mox mana, he could have swapped out the chicken for a ooze and slowed me down even further, since this wasn't a reverse speed game. So, I like to just kind of look at the board, kind of see if I made a mistake or he made a mistake. My one mistake might have been these 2 should have been the other way, but it ended up not being a big deal, and I still won the match. So I hope you all have a good time. I hope you keep playing Splinterlands, and I hope you take part in the Share Your Battle challenges. This is Stever82 saying subscribe and like if you enjoy my content, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye.